This mounting yard is brought to you by Vobis Platinum. Find out more at vobisplatinum.com.au.
It's a sporting town, it's a beachy town, Hutch, and the girls are out there having fun nice and early.
They are. A bit of beach volleyball. Don't think that's either of our forte, just quietly, Terry.
Absolutely not, Hutch, but we will do what we think we know a bit about. This is Max Mercury in the yard parading, coming out of a weaker race at Seymour.
Where he won, and won quite nicely, but that was over 2,000 metres, back in trip. Look, he's quite down. I think he's a galloper that is going to do well to probably fill a minor spot, and the market's got him a similar rate, $41.
5 is Boy from Y. He gets back, which is a little bit of a problem. He runs into a bit of interference as he did last start.
He does. Good record at the track. He's got a win in a few placings, and it was a runner-up last start behind Talawa. That was a good run, but this is a stronger race, Terry.
Now we go down to number 6, which is Aisha. She's very genuine. Race pattern was pretty similar at Caulfield, no real change.
Well, I think what happened there, Terry, there wasn't that much speed in it, and she started over race early. I thought her form prior to that was good. It's just a tricky map for her. She's 10 to 13 with a VOP. I think she's a better chance than that.
Amy Yagi's doing all the mail from the yard for us today. How's she looking, and how is she handling the warm conditions, Amy?
She looks really well, Terry. The team's done a marvellous job placing her. She's obviously been in excellent form. She gets a little bit hot in the mounting yard, but I'm yet to meet a smart missile filly that doesn't get a bit like that. So I think all things considered, she's handling herself well, and she looks really good.
The favourite's out to even money, $2 now, Freda. She's got a bit of X factor about her, Hutch. Had a spell and 2 campaigns in between before coming back and being brilliant.
The market loved her. $1.45 first up. She won nicely, but it was a good gap between runs. She had 12 months off, so you'd imagine there's only improvement to come. Yeah, I think she'll be tough to beat. I think she may well justify her short quote, and she should map reasonably well. She'll just need a little touch of luck early.
Outstanding training performance by the team to get her to win first up over a mile after such a long layoff. She's been really good the whole time she's been in the yard. Got 2 handlers on her, just having a little bit of a flank sweat, which they're all entitled to do on a hot day. But if you liked her first up, no reason not to like her and back her again with confidence.
Marlion's Dream should be at her best now. She comes into the race, Hutch, 4th up.
Yeah, there's a bit of form out of the Ratihi race at the Valley. Ziggy Rocks managed to win, but market doesn't really like him, and I'm not surprised. He's 50 to 70s. I think we need better.
Well, Regal Zeus won here 2 runs ago and then just never got a run last start at the Valley.
No, there were excuses, and prior to that, ran at Geelong, won over 1,400. So I like the fact that this horse has been. It is a bit of a circuit that you do need some format.
Looks really healthy in the skin, having a little bit of a sweat. He's a little bit up on his toes, but looks rock hard fit for this trip.
Negotiator number 10 went out a winner at Geelong and came back. It was a barnstorming finish too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. And what was good about the win from Negotiator last start is that, Terry, there wasn't too many that were up on speed. It was the inside pattern, and Negotiator did negotiate a very good path, but might defied the pattern to a certain extent. Won nicely. Damien Lane booked to ride. He's absolutely flying. Great chance.
Lovely type of horse, beautiful coat on him. He's one of those sort of horses that carries a little bit more weight around his tummy than what others do, but that could just be normal for him. But he's turned out in excellent order by the team. I might just prefer to see him with one more run before stepping up to this sort of trip.
11 Connecticut just had to change course at Seymour. What's the depth of that race like?
No, I don't think it's that strong, Terry, and the market's got Connecticut at a $21 chance. But lightly raced horse, just 8th career start today, so we'll need to improve off that.
By far the shiniest, healthiest looking horse in the yard for me. Just coat-wise, he just looks particularly healthy. He's having a good sweat. You're going to hear me say that a fair bit today, but it is a hot day, which is fair enough. But he's handled himself well. He's in really, really good condition by the team.
The lightly raced Flame and Romans. He's been spec'd at a price, Hutch, and rightly so. He's going to be up on the speed and he's improving.
We don't know where the ceiling is. It's only his 3rd career start. He won his last outing. He's a nicely bred individual, 17 foot to 14. So he's improving. And, yeah, Mar Eustace team with Johnny Allen. It's got a pretty good ring to it, so no surprise.
Yeah, step up in distance shouldn't be a trouble at all for this horse based on pedigree, and obviously you've always got a lot of confidence in the stable and jockey combination. He's presented here in really good nick.
Hullen draws a wide barrier. He's going to get back. That's going to make his task first up pretty hard.
And he's for a horse that wants further and performed nicely on the synthetic last time in. So I think there's some races for him, but didn't think it'd be here.
Luke Curry jumps aboard Cradle of Life. A lot of reasons why she can be prominent here, and she's solid in the betting.
Gee, she was good at the Valley. She settled well back in the fields to, race run to suit the eventual winner, who was on pace, and Cradle of Life kept on really well. 3rd up, ready to go, extra 100 suits, and maybe Luke can have him just a touch closer.
got quite hot and bouncy in the yard, but I'm not sure if that's normal for him or not. But he's presented in beautiful order, and well done to the strapper as well. Presented perfectly.
And the final one is Talawa, $71. Just got the right race shape here to win last start.
Yeah, it was only started at Geelong though, so that's encouraging. But I think it was an easier event, and like you said, it was a leader that was well suited on the day.
Okay, favourite just edging out in the betting at 210. Favourite or going against?
I'd be watching here. I think it's short enough, Fretta, but you might get closer to that 240 range, I think, if you hang around. But no, I'm happy to have it tipped on top. I think there's a little bit of value with Aisha at $13. Cradle of Life will run well, and the Negotiator. I think both of those horses defied the sort of pace and pattern last start. So I went 7, 6, 17 and 10.
Okay.
Tough race this. A lot of these horses are presented in excellent order, and obviously based on type and pedigree and form as well, you'd be expecting them all to run particularly well. Very difficult to tip against Fretta, but I think just for a little bit of value, I'm going to go with Connecticut. I thought that horse looked absolutely outstanding. His coat was glowing, really well presented, rock hard fit from the stable. That's not saying that Fretta isn't going to win. Obviously this horse has got a hell of a lot of class. Aisha was presented beautifully as well, and as I said, don't worry about her just getting a little bit hot in the yard. That's what that breed do. But for me, just for a little bit of value with the short odds-on favourite, I'm going with Connecticut.
Well, good sign for punters there, because Amy's pick of the yard, Connecticut, has been getting some good support there outside at long odds. Still sitting at $21 there, in from 41, 23, 21 there. Fretta up the top has just started to drift a tiny touch there. Got out to $2.20 at one point there. The money has just slowed up over the last 5 or so minutes. Cradle of Life still not getting too many supporters at the $5 quote. The Negotiator, second best back, 15.950, 7.50. Not much has changed in terms of fluctuations in this market since we last spoke. Flamin' Romans, $27 into 13. But the best advice I can give you today during this time slot legally is take a sec before you bet and set a deposit limit. One of the best features in the app. It'll just make you keep that punting in check and make sure you keep the fun in the game. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on your screen or visit the website.
OTI saddle up the first favourite in Fretta. Terry Henderson joins us, and Terry, she looks to have a bit of class about her.
Yes, she seems to certainly do that. She's still a work in progress, obviously, and you know, she's learning a ring craft, and this is another step for her. But what we've seen so far, we really like.
What was the reason for the big break?
She fell to joints, and Mick was very kind to her and thought, well, given that she was a European filly, a big filly, rangy type, to press forward after that first win was not going to do her any good in the longer term. And, you know, she's got a pedigree that says she could run any distance. And you'd think that, you know, if we look after her during this prep and probably get serious next prep, she could be very good at 2000.
I love how, Terry, she flattens out. When she's put under pressure, she gets the neck out and she really goes for it.
They got a lovely stride, very long stride. We haven't measured it, but it wouldn't be surprising to see that it's, you know, in that top 5% of horses' strides.
The obvious question is, you're second up after a long break and you're coming up against better opposition. Is she taking that step to handle it today?
On what we've seen, she is, but I can be more definitive in about 3 minutes. Look, you know what it's like with these horses that are relatively inexperienced. But look, all the key indicators, the way she's trained, the way she's worked, the impressions of the rider, her demeanour generally, would indicate that she's going to be very hard to beat today.
And finally, will Jai push forward and try and take up a more forward position than getting too far back?
Yes, he will. He'll probably try and be in the first 4, probably 6. We're conscious that Geelong can be a little bit leader biased when the rail's back in the true position. But I think she should be ready to, you know, be driven out of the gate a little, have a little bit more pressure put on her early in the race, given that she had that first run at 1600.
And what a day to come to Geelong, isn't it fantastic?
Look, fantastic. We, OTI, love this track. We've won 4 cups in the last 15 years. And the track is such a good track. The catchment area at this time of the year is fantastic with the holiday people. So, you know, good on them.
Good seeing you here at the races, and best of luck with your mare.
Thanks, Terence.
She's all the rage in the market. Fretta at back into $1.95 now with a VOP. A couple of dangers in the race, though, Kate, and you've spoken to a couple of the rivals.
Yeah, I have. Well, we heard from Terry there that the favourite Fretta, they're going to be more positive with her wanting to be in the first 4. Well, I spoke to Luke Curry, the jockey with Cradle of Life. Wasn't he just enormous last start with that big looping run at the Valley? Now he comes in, he's third up, and he's drawn alongside the favourite. And Luke said, we're just going to follow her through. We want to be at least midfield. Also caught up with Holly McKechnie about the 6, Aisha, who had that really good winning run with the 3 in a row so they're really happy with her, but the concern was last start on the good fall, they were saying that maybe it was a bit too firm, so they're hoping that she might be able to get her toe in just a little bit of the ground now. But I love Freda, can't wait to see her. I'm chips in. She's a big raw type, she's leggy, she's got that beautiful action, the long stride. Bring this race on, Terry.
Yep, second up, this is going to be a bit of a test for her, but there's a lot of horses probably that can't win the race. She looks to have a bit of quality about her. Let's go to Adam Olszanski for his call of Super Saturday racing here at Geelong.
And Terry, thank you. Hello, everyone. Good to be here. Big day for Geelong. Crowd starting to come out from the shade and fill the spots on the lawn for this opening race. Here's Isha to come up. So Isha being locked away. Mardigan's Dream goes up. So almost right with the last couple to get set. Here's Freda. And Boy From Y will be one of the last. As we say hello to our Sky Channel 7 and RSN audiences. Almost set to go. Super Saturday on the coast. And here's Boy From Y. About to move in, one of the local chances. Joining them, the Elegance Tiles Geelong. The first of 10 races. Freda back to odds on. And they're away. Marlian's Dream, Boy From Y, both slow to begin. Freda jumped okay, second or third for the moment. And after 100 metres, it's Regal Zeus and Flamin' Romans are pressing on from Freda third. A length and a half to Isha on a wide run, starting to improve, and Talawar ahead of it. Then comes the Negotiator, a lot closer today, fifth back on the running rail. Connecticut is midfield, Cradle of Life on the fence. And then comes Harlan drifting back, Marlian's Dream. And getting well back in play, Max Mercury second last, and Boy From Y is the trailer. 1,200 metres left to go. Regal Zeus makes play. Regal Zeus by one length on Flamin' Roman second. The Negotiator on the inside of the favourite Freda, who's in the centre of a line of three with Talawar, the deepest of that trio. Next is Connecticut, and then comes Cradle of Life on the fence, and Isha three wide with some cover. 2 lengths to Harland, Max Mercury, and then Marlian's Dream and Boy From Y is last. 800 metres left to go. They head down the side of the track in the opener, and the leader, Regal Zeus by a half length. Flamin' Roman's getting a little closer now. Freda's about to make a move, and there around the outside is Talawar, starting to come into it 4 deep from their Negotiator. Cradle of Life's away from the fence. Then comes Connecticut and Isha. Marlian's Dream pulls to the outside, and then Harland, Boy From Y, and Max Mercury. 400 metres left to go. It's Regal Zeus coming to the straight, Flamin' Romans, and then the Negotiator taking a run in behind. Freda starting to warm up, still about 3 lengths off the leader. Connecticut in behind as they draw down to the 200. Still Regal Zeus from the Negotiator, Freda, and then Flamin' Romans. Regal Zeus still fighting in the lead over a length, holding them at bay. And it's Regal Zeus all the way in the first. 3/4. Freda got second. Flamin' Romans third, the Negotiator fourth. Harlan made late ground fifth. Then came Connecticut in behind Boy From Y, Cradle of Life, Max Mercury, Talawar, Isha, and Marlian's Dream towards the back.
Regal Zeus causes a little bit of an upset there. Of course, a Forgive run completely at the Valley, went forward. A few of the others had their eye on each other, Amy in the race, but what they were doing and offer what seemed to be a pretty steady tempo was leave Regal Zeus alone, and as a consequence made every post a winner.
Absolutely beautiful front-running ride from Dan Stackhouse there. It's like he had his beeper on at track work. He was just half sort of pulled their pants down, I feel. You could see a long way out that it was going to be a bit of a sit and sprint, and no one else really seemed to be reading the play, I didn't think, or was brave enough to make any sort of outrageous sort of move. But well done to John McArdle and the team. The horse was rock hard fit. He had no surplus, obviously. Really thrived in these conditions and aided by a great ride by Dan.
Shifted off the rail a little bit late, but he had the race in his keeping as we head out to Terry.
Danielle Smith joins me with Johnny up there enjoying the surf and turf at the Gold Coast Turf Club at the moment.
And a few beers.
And a few beers for sure. It was good because this horse had no luck last time out, and Daniel back aboard and he goes back to back.
Yeah, it was really good. We were a little disappointed last start, no luck, and I think Jamie would admit it wasn't his best ride. So back here on a big track today, we weren't planning on leading, we were planning on box seating, but you know, we got an easy time in front, and he did a good job, the horse.
You must like Geelong. Why wouldn't you? 2 out of 2 here. And that's interesting because because he got a very soft lead, didn't he? Like once Daniel went to the front, he was able to run the race to suit his tempo.
Yeah, correct. And we were talking before the race. He sort of, Daniel said last time he rode him and won here, he sort of floated a bit when he got in front. So I was a little bit concerned when he was left in front a long way, from home, that he might get a bit lost and something might sort of come over the top of him. But no, he dug deep and kept getting to the line, which was good to see.
Okay. He seems like a very genuine horse and not one-dimensional by the looks of it from that run.
Yeah, like I said, it's good to see him actually get that done today the way he did it, because I wasn't sure that he would. But yeah, hopefully he's got a few more strings to his bow than like we've seen before.
Well done, Danielle. And we're just going to have a quick chat with Terry. Terry, beaten today as a favourite, but not disgraced. That leader got a really cheap time in front.
Yes, really it's hard to assess, and it'll be interesting to see what the assessment is, but probably looking for the 2,000 metres. She's very stoutly bred on the dam side, and I would think that she'd go to 2,000 metres and, probably a little bit more given the track too, probably wouldn't do any harm.
Right, and what about a more flowing pace for her? Because she is a big girl.
Yeah, she is, but you couldn't say she didn't have every chance to run down the winner, so congratulations to Johnny McArdle and his team. But, we did have every chance to run it down, but the way the race shaped up, and be it the bias of the front-running horses today at Geelong, which it does have a reputation for, we'll know by the end of the day.
We'll just have to wait and see, Terry. Well done, mate.
Thanks, Terry.
That we will, and nice performance, nice front-running ride. The first third of the race was pretty steadily run. The favourite got into the 1-1, travelled well. Look, I think peeled into that 3-wide running line at about the 600 and just looked dow, as Terry Henderson mentioned there, to Terry Bailey. So perhaps she is looking for a little bit further. But we're going to talk to the winning rider now. It's Dan Stackhouse going to have a chat with Kate Watts.
Congratulations, Dan. We just heard from the McArdle team that you weren't necessarily planning on leading on this occasion, because we'd seen that he'd kind of just looked around when he'd been up front previously.
Yeah, exactly right. He just sort of stepped from the gate so well, and no one really wanted to take it out, take the lead up. So I was happy to go forward. He was in a really happy frame of mind. He had his ears pricked, found himself in a beautiful rhythm, just cruised along, no pressure, built down the hill nicely. And I was a bit concerned when I asked him. He started stargazing, but once I put a couple around his tail, he picked up and done a good job to hold his rivals off.
Could you hear them coming, some of the favourites as well?
Yeah, I heard them coming, yeah, but I think my bloke did too, and he felt like he dug deep when he did hear them, so it's a good job from the John McArdle team. He's had in perfect order here today.
I've got to ask you about this track. How's it feeling underneath after the first?
Yeah, no complaints first. The track's beautiful. Felt a nice little bit of give on underneath, and there's good nice grass cover, so sun's out. It's a beautiful day for racing.
Congratulations. Good luck in the next as well.
Thank you, Kate. Cheers.
Dan Stackhouse takes out the first on Regal Zeus. So let's head to Gawler with Terry and John for the first.
Yeah, thank you, Kate. A very good afternoon from South Australia racing.